G'day, SiGGz here, and today we're playing home again. But despite its promises of being saved automatically at certain points, it didn't remember anything that we did. So we're going to be doing the whole thing in a single sitting, and I'm just going to try and breeze as quickly as I can through this first section. So let's warp through time. Woo! Woo! I found something new. We can watch the VHS tape. Yes, let's play the tape. Okay, could have been two men. That's all. Alright. Another new thing. Apparently I found this ladder in the sky that I didn't find before to an old water tower full of bats. And a patch of smeared dirt and grass. Beat up old wallet. Did I take it? Yep, sure. Okay, how do you know it's yours if it didn't have any of your ID? And you apparently have no memory of anything. Yeah, someone definitely could have seen you, but they did not. Because you're invisible. You're a ghost, Ben. Alright, we're still not quite up to where we were, so more time travel. Woo! Woo! Alright, we did it. I didn't mean to find those few extra things. Gosh, travelling through time like that is tiring. Oh, it was quite tedious as well. But we're here. There was this little bush back here that we didn't search, so I'm just going to quickly... Yep, sign, same as the other side of the woods. Finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I wanted to return there. Oh, if that's the exit, then let's not take it just yet. But now we know that that's the exit, apparently. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking that... I'm sure he is the murderer, but maybe he's not. But I do think that the fact that we picked up the knife and the gun, because there's been nothing for us to kill or shoot, is just going to get us arrested. Small patch that looked almost clean. Okay. Well, a plank. I might have been able to cross the river with it. Did I take it? Yes. Okay. Well, you're clearly not carrying a plank, Ben. I can't be fooled. You shoved that plank up, you know where. That plank is hidden from view. Ah, that sounds like water. Okay. Crude bridge, but I wasn't sure if it would hold. Did I use it? Yes, you did. Sweet. Oh! 2 bodies, 2 young women, were half dug into a hasty, shallow grave between the trees. The younger-looking one was still face up, and her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. They deserved better than that. Did I clean up the gravesite? Yeah, why not? I answer yes to everything. I'm a real yes man. I tried to cover them up a bit more and closed the younger woman's eyes. I fashioned a crude marker, but wasn't sure why, but I felt I had to do something. Good. Oh, you did good. Oh, that's why we came here, to repair that grave. There we go. Let's skedaddle. The forest started to thin out a bit, and through the trees I could make out parts of the town beyond and the first hints of light. The mysteries of that forest were behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I had found. Someone had taken them from their campsite and had murdered them. Was it the same person who had left that odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and find a way to reach Rachel. Look, you already murdered Rachel, man. You're not going to reach her. You might reach her body. You might reach a deeper understanding of who you are. But you're definitely not going to reach Rachel. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Maybe it was, but maybe it's a killer! Yeah! Okay, it's just the wind. Take me into the machine factory. I don't want to go through a hole in the fence. I think that was supposed to scare me, but I'm not. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out through the box. Box cables. The metal was starting to wear. The cobwebs had collected in the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. Okay. So to continue forward, we need to power up that power box. Well then what's... Now I'm curious as to what's through the hole in the fence. Let me through. Oh. Oh, it's a body. I found the body of a security guard, just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered, was this flashlight his? What flashlight? Oh, the one I'm holding? Yeah, you've killed all these people. Cracked old watch. First my wallet and now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Yes. The watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyway. Yeah. I'm becoming more and more certain that this man is the Zodiac Killer. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push a switch? Yes. You say yes to everything. Oven locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. Photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. Oh, another thing. Power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Oh, now it makes an annoying noise. Shut tight. A rusty looking card slot on the side. Okay, if we find a card, we'll come back here. Still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Now the panel that I hoped could help me bit the power back on. Did I push it? Yes, I did. And it went green and blah 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 blah. The shelf was crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? You take everything. I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Yeah, just keep loading yourself up, Ben. You're going to be a pack mule by the end of this. Are you still carrying that plank up your backside? Complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes, we're going to go back and try that rusty thing. Now the panel that I hoped could get the thing. Yes, yes, I did the thing. And I did it again, because it still wasn't working. That I hoped could help get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes, you pulled the switch. Pull the switch again. Keep pulling that switch. Can we jimmy that open? Oh yeah, cool, brilliant. After I moved the place, I left the hammer on the floor. Why? We might need it again. It's surely not the only planked up door in existence. This was my locker. There in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. And there's some more booze. Empty booze bottles. I wondered if that man in the house had something to do with this. The man in the house is you. He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. Yes, you did, Ben. You're an alcoholic, and Rachel left you because you were murdering people, and your solution was to murder her as well. Let's try that rusty keycard reader. Keycard I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the keycard? Yes! Through the old reader and turned the handle. Access! There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. Looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? No. If I was too chicken to jump down that broken ladder before, why do it now? There had to be another way. Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, that's dumb. Yeah, you could jump down. Yes, you have to. Oh man, my leg hurt by hell. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily, and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Yeah. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked like to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was, need to, just don't, drinking, need, Norman. Who was Norman writing to? I stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell, of its memories. I couldn't stop thinking about that room with the bottles in it. Was that guard I found outside really drinking up there? No, you were drinking, and you killed the guard. What about Norman, who had rooted through all those lockers? I couldn't tell where I was. I looked around, but I figured I needed to get to a road to get my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. His store wasn't that far from the turn-off to the factory, if I remembered correctly. You don't remember anything correctly. The factory door had locked itself behind me. Well, we powered all that stuff up for nothing. I didn't want to jump down a hole and hurt my leg. And I'm clearly being followed. I feel like someone's trying to sell me something! Oh, you found a driver's license in a bin. Yes. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Alright, guess we've got to find that television. Switch it off so that the door will open and we can escape. Yeah, of course, the entrance to the front was locked from the inside. It looks like I couldn't just pop it open, I needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. God, did you kill everyone you knew? Huh, what the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Ah, so she was sleeping with Norman. Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others here. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? If the gun would fit there, did I place it back in the cabinet? Yeah, I don't want to get arrested. Let's do it. I carefully pushed the piece back in place and felt a great burden lifted. A close call. Alright. Looks like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wondered where it led. Did I pull the chain? Yes, you did. A single tug and a simple folding ladder to the attic dock down. Turn off the TV. I don't like it. I can't. Oh, it's Norman. Is he dead? Norman, my co-worker, one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already drying. What was Rachel... Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yes, you did. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think any more about what was going on. Yeah, you definitely killed Norman. The kitchen was a trash bin, smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes, you did. You did everything. Found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. That's my Norman kitchen dance. The dance I do when I'm in Norman's kitchen. A box. A large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? Yes. I opened the old cardboard box and wasn't entirely surprised by what I saw. More of Rachel things and more of my wife's clothes. Photos, shoes, even that old radio I gave her. Why, Rachel? What were you doing here with Norman? You fell in love and moved in with Norman. That's what happened. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. Alright. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things. Postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. Okay. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. Alright. It had been weeks since I'd last seen Norman, and finding him that way still left me cold. Thinking of him slumped against that chair only cemented my reassurance of getting rid of that gun. It looked like someone had taken that piece from his store, but why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled that dusty old box of clothes in Norman's attic. Oh, God, so much reading. I had discovered more questions, no answers. But I was close to home. It was time to think, to find out the truth. Okay, time for truth. Truth time. Oh gosh. Truth time has a doors. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Okay. It was locked. This wasn't my house. Well, apparently this is your house. But, oh, they only led me back. I had to find that door only led me back. I had to find my house. But what if there was more ahead? The neighborhood's lettuce was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I take a look at the letter? You sure did. The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I am sending this to you later because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it wasn't wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out away from both of you. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman. So you don't think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. Oh, no, I wasn't done reading the letter. Stupid itchy trigger finger. I did it. Wrong house, wrong gate. Everything gets locked. Let me in. It's the third one again. There was blood on the wall. God, I gotta stop doing that. I entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I wasn't expectant, but also afraid. I never did fix this gate. It was stuck. I needed to press on. There was no turning back at that point. Oh, stupid me. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. It's gonna be a dead Rachel. Painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. Door to the basement, it was locked. Where I'd put the damned key. You put it somewhere. What's this? Small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked it up? Rachel doesn't live here anymore, you moron. Oh, credit card bill. Did I open it? Yes. Ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about cancelling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? Front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out, though. I needed to press see Rachel was here. She's going to be in the basement, dead. The door was stuck shut. It was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Who keeps everything in their house locked? The last missing piece from my wallet, old photo of Rachel and I, stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? Yes. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I'd got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? My wife's, Rachel's, suitcase was sitting on my bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? It's clothes! A few days' worth of clothes and some personal effects and a train ticket. As I stared at the ticket, I could feel myself flush with anger and resentment. The date and the time matched a receipt I had found. Stop blasting that in my ears! A sink which needed to be replaced. One of the traps always stuck. I hadn't got round to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Oh, I hate those claw-footed bathtubs. They terrify me. There was a key on the top of the desk. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the key. There was old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key there. Did I take the key? Yes. Took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. It was upstairs. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could separate the room and the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck, and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. Okay. Go back up, find a heavy thing, come down, bust open the door. Grab my key, unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? Yes, I broke in here, just now. There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yes, you did, because you got to get through that, thing. Heavy crowbar. Oh, well, that's dumb. Why give us a key downstairs just to go upstairs to get the key to go back downstairs? Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? You sure did. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall, smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? No, she was not. Don't look. There it is. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what was in, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Yes, you did. Oh no, my hands trembled as I pulled back the layers of cloth. There at the centre, under all the dirt and mess, was my beloved, my Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over and slashed repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn, and even through all that sickening blood, it was obvious she had been stabbed to death. The knife I had carried all this way suddenly seemed like poison. What had happened, Rachel? Who did this to you? I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Grim discovery. Oh, we're not done. It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe it was somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, at the water tower. Was I at those places before? Yes. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. Must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? A safe. My old office safe sat on the floor. Did I try to open it? Yes. 8. How am I going to know an 8-digit code? I don't know, maybe he didn't murder Rachel. Maybe he did, I don't know. It was the letter I had taken from the postbox. Rachel, were you really having an affair with Norman? But why? I didn't think things were that bad. In the letter, Rachel seemed concerned. She almost seemed worried of what Norman might do. Did he do that to Rachel? No. Norman may have betrayed me, but I didn't think he was capable of that. I hated him. I hated him so much, but I couldn't blame him for what happened to my wife. Oh, what's this? If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? It'll incriminate us. No. No, there were other means of dealing with this. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I had already seen too much. Alright, well, then, yeah, let's take this. Yes. Took the knife and kept it firmly in my hand. A warm, safe place, huh? I knew I needed to escape that no matter, but what about the knife I still carried? I wondered, even if I left, would it really be over? Did I leave that house forever? Not yet. I peered at the knife as I turned away. A warm place, I had thought. Where could that be? I don't know. Bed? Oh, what's the code to this? An 8-digit code? That's pretty dang secure. Put it in the bathtub. If I wanted to, I could use that knife to finally end this. Question was, did I think I deserved it? Did I? Was this my fault? Did I deserve to die? Ah, well. Escape the house or kill himself? I'm pretty sure he did it, yeah. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plan had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew that it was the final act of long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. I wasn't sure what had happened to the other man I had found in that house. He seemed to be more a victim. But what was his role in all this? After making it out of those tunnels, I thought those stewards might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I had watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like 2 people. But who was it that was attacked? I had found the contents of my wallet scattered throughout the town. Why the hell had I been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? The thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but I knew I had been to that forest and even to Norman's place. Well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought that would cover my tracks, so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. Even more troubling were those poor girls I'd found in the terrible woods. Half hidden in the shallow grave, their secret death seemed like the ultimate defiling. If I hadn't found them, would anyone have done so? Would they have ever been missed? I vaguely recalled the desk I had seen in those tunnels, the names etched there. Someone had killed those girls. Was it that man? It was clear, at least, that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Maybe he was the one who had boarded up that locker room, who had been drinking up there in that secret hiding place. So had he killed that guard then? He must have. Maybe he was found out, or the guard had caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman, why? After the factory, oh my god! I thought I might have find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store, but all I found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really considered it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, what were you and Rachel up to? It was obvious things were more complicated than I had ever imagined. How long had you been going behind my back? More importantly, why Norman? Whoever had killed Rachel had probably gone after you too. Maybe they knew about what you were up to. I would never know peace, Norman. But despite your transgressions, a part of me really did hope that you would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, desperately clung to the hope that this would end, and I guess in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. Ugh. To think of it now. Our house used to feel so lively, so warm, but coming into the kitchen I felt only a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly possible, but nothing could have repaired me. My wife dead, ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me, one that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. For what solace can a man take in the death of his wife? What comfort can be offered? Rachel had been taken from me, and I might never know why. I put the knife down, drew a long warm bath. Slipping into the tub, I was surprised at how calm I felt. I heard it was like going to sleep if you did it right, so I held my arms under the water as I made the incisions. And though the initial sting came as a shock, it was only a matter of minutes before I felt myself ebb and fade. After that, the room washed to a calming, comforting shade of grey. Oh, wow. And I guess that's it. Can't continue the game after the guy's dead. Is that? Oh, it's the claw foot of the bathtub and some blood. Alright, cool, done. Oy, that was actually a slug. Like, the first of a few initial jump scares at the beginning, and then just tedious reading. But we got through it. We're masters of our own fate. Home is dedicated to my wife Nancy. Watch your back. What the Nancy, get out of there. Get out now, Nancy. Okay. Play again, quit to desktop. Quit to desktop. Q. Let's go. Oh, we're done. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And try looking out your window for a change. You'll be surprised at how many wolves have gathered in your garden ready to rip you to shreds and eat your tasty flesh. Till next time, bye!